Redditors who don't masturbate, why not? Because some people on the internet told me that I can fly and gain laser vision just by not jacking off for 30 days. Because prostate cancer surgery broke my PP. Thank God I'd gotten a fair amount of lovin' in the 50+ years prior to it. I'm dealing with some pretty messed up PTSD-like symptoms and issues from different types of sexual trauma, mental illness in general, and just gross situations from differing stages in my life. I've become quite dissociated from my body and just don't feel comfortable thinking about my body being sexual at all. Depression and medication for it. I didn't really start masturbating until a few years ago, when I was in my early 20s. It was definitely due to Catholic shame. I went to Catholic school from K to 8th grade. I didn't until I was 20 because I didn't know how to. Sex ed in school sucked. It was a religious school, and I didn't know what a clit was. I also never felt any kind of sexual attraction and didn't have any relationships or had sex. I liked a couple guys through those first 20 years, but never felt horny or anything. Then I researched myself because I was very curious about orgasms. I found out what a clit was and how to stimulate it. So I tried. Found out I could have multiple orgasms. Not so long after, I had my first relationship and started feeling sexual attraction towards him. Now I do it almost daily. Sometimes more than once a day. Girl, have tried a couple of times. But it doesn't really do anything for me. It just leaves me feeling frustrated and embarrassed about myself. So I've pretty much just given up. It doesn't bring me pleasure. No matter how horny I am. Masturbation doesn't satisfy. If anything, it ruins my desires. I try it out a couple times a year just to see if anything changes. But I think because I know it's me, I just don't react. You see, not having sex till 40 makes you a wizard. Not having sex and not jerking it till 40 makes you omnipotent. I've never found a desire to touch myself. And when I've tried, it's never fun or exciting. I like being touched by myself instead. I've also never had an orgasm, and I'm assuming it's because I can't masturbate. For years, I used to masturbate all the time. At one point, I was doing it multiple times a day. But then, one night I masturbated, and when I came, I felt a sharp, terrible pain. Over the next few days, I noticed specks of blood came out when I peed. Terrified, I went to a urologist. He ran every test I could think of and then some: prostate exam, testicular exam, even a cystoscopy. If you don't know what that is, consider yourself lucky. After ruling everything out, he told me he thought what happened was that a blood vessel on my prostate burst. Suddenly it hit me. After that painful night when I came, I noticed my lower back was really hurting for the next couple days. It was right about where my prostate is. As a result, I am much more cautious about masturbating anymore. I have OCD, so I'd have panic attacks and suicidal thoughts if any goo got on my hands. Not worth the risk. For years I didn't sew it because I felt I was a mom and moms don't do that, plus I was too busy doing the whole multiple pregnancies, lots of kid wrangling, making milk, etc. Finally got over my issues. And now I only rarely do it. Usually around the time I'm ovulating. So maybe a couple of times a month. I'm the space of about 3 days. I kind of do. Kind of don't. I don't do it by myself. Because it doesn't turn me on and I don't reach anywhere close to climaxing. So there's no point doing it. However, I do occasionally masturbate in front of my boyfriend as part of foreplay. Because it turns him on. And then I get turned on by him being turned on. Because I've never been able to. 18M here. Never been able to despite having tried. Haven't really tried seeking help for it because it has never truly bothered me, so I just kind of got used to it. When I do try, it just doesn't even begin to feel good. All it does is begin to itch if I try long enough, and at that point I just give up. I've definitely been told that it could be the wrong grip or technique, but I've tried a bunch of stuff and it usually just doesn't seem to go anywhere. I'm asexual. I just don't feel a need to do it. I used to because it's something everyone does, but I don't see the point. I'm not interested in it. And it doesn't do anything for me. Maybe it comes from me being asexual. I have no sex drive at all. I cannot stand to be touched. Especially down there. Even by my own self. I do not like how it feels. I do not like anything that has to do with sex. I also do not have any desire to change this. I am otherwise happy and content with my life. I am sick of people trying to pathologize me. Some people don't like tomatoes. Some people don't like coconut. I don't like sex. I'm entitled to my own preferences, and it does mean I'm not healthy or my preferences are wrong. I just came off a drug I was on for 5 years. That made my sex drive completely disappear. I would masturbate only every few days and hadn't had sex with my girlfriend in months. We broke up and I got a new girlfriend who is younger than me and horny as duck. I enjoy shooting bigger loads, so I won't masturbate at all now. It's hard because I'm insanely hornier now I'm off the medication. But it's so much more satisfying just finishing during sex only. I just have never really been able to. I tried once when I was 18, almost 25 now. And I think I was able to cum a very small amount. After trying for a few minutes. About 2 years ago. I tried masturbating in the shower for a week or two. I think I was able to get myself erect a few times. And I was happy about this. But I think I stopped because I was afraid that I would spend too much time trying. And not get anywhere. I know I've came in my sleep before. And there have been very few times when I have came while not sleeping. To this day, the idea of consciously coming sounds nearly impossible to me. Probably getting downvoted for this. But I don't have strong feelings to anything sexual related. Therefore not needing to do this thing. To people who keep saying there are two kinds of people. Those who FAP and those who lies are ignorant to those who aren't interested in sex in their lives. There's more important things to do than touching yourself, you know. 1. Feels genuinely BAD. 2. Asexual. See first point. 3. Deathly afraid of getting some sort of disease or infection down there from my dirty hands. I have never had the urge to. For the longest time. I honestly didn't think anyone else was actually doing it either. And that everyone I knew was, like me, making jokes about something we were too young to really understand. I made it into my 20s just assuming that that was something I would want to do eventually. Then realized that everyone else had started having sexual desires, and acting on them, years earlier, and that this was very much a just me thing. I don't have anything against masturbation. My genitals are just perfectly happy being left alone. I gave it up for Lent this year. And the sex with my girlfriend was a lot better. So I'm going to keep not doing it. We're all focused instead on giving birthday BJs to all our friends. And busy making new friends. I don't like it TBH. It's a weird sensation. It doesn't make me want to go on and climax. But rather stop because it feels kinda unpleasant. Not sure how to describe it. Plus, I have a low libido. So there's that. I lost my husband 9 years ago. He was my partner. My soul mate. My life mate. We had a great sex life even though we were raising his daughter. My son and our son together. Then he died suddenly and my life changed. I can't get over him. We were married for life. It wasn't supposed to end like that. I honestly would have followed him into the grave were it not for our children. I would never leave our kids. Since he's been gone I care nothing for sex. I don't want to be with anyone nor do I want to masturbate. What's the point? I don't even feel like a woman anymore. I'm not even asexual. I'm nosexual. And before you say, well, don't you want to meet someone to be a stepfather to your kids? No. No, I don't. How can I let some man come in here and tell his kids what to do? No one will ever compare to him.